Well, boys, we're in the middle, directly in the middle of match week 21. 5 games were played last weekend. 5 games are coming up this weekend. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name's James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He's up top with me. He supports Chelsea down below. That is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, hello. Good day.
Hello.
I hope you all are well. Now, it's an interesting position because both of your clubs are going on to their winter break, their winter holiday, whereas my team is finishing their winter holiday and coming back to play here at the weekend. Do you guys know, are your clubs going to some warm weather location?
No, we only got. Oh, you go first, Sean.
Arteta was somewhere in the Middle East, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
because he was at the
Arsenal go to Dubai every
Dubai
in
okay.
January.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him at
Salt Bay's
Chef,
restaurant.
Chef Salt or whatever. Yes, dangling the little piece of steak for Mikel.
And then feeding him with the knife,
which looked cute.
It was a little weird, but whatever, man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he enjoyed it.
Hopefully he taught the players how to shoot the ball into the net.
Isn't it a little odd, don't you think, that you take a team vacation?
Well, they didn't take it. No. It's a warm. Okay, it's a warm weather training camp.
Yeah.
They went to go to Dubai to train for 10 days.
You don't really get a winter break then if you're training the entire time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that Tottenham's taking a 10-day vacation either. I think that they're going to be in training every day.
Come on, mate. Give the lads a couple days off, huh?
He should take them to Perth. I'm sure it's beautiful in Perth this time of year, or Melbourne.
Yeah, it is summer. It is summer down there. Yeah.
Yeah, but so is Tottenham not traveling? Are they staying at home?
I actually have no idea.
Brad,
give them like Monday, Tuesday. Give them like Monday, Tuesday off. Go do what you want. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Is Chelsea's not traveling?
That is exactly what Chelsea is doing. Chelsea reported back Wednesday because we have a game Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys don't get a winter break
because semifinal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
So no, they got 4 days off. I think Poch went to Barcelona, went home for the 3-4 days. So
okay, all right. Well, wherever your Premier League team is at the moment, speaking to you, the loyal listeners of Red Card Radio, I hope they have a wonderful winter break, winter holiday. Before we jump in tonight's going to be we're going to be looking at match week 21, both reviewing what has already happened and previewing what is yet to come. We do have a couple news stories that have come out of the Premier League that we do need to touch on. Before we do, a couple comments as well. But before we get into all of that, if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment down below. Join our Discord. The description of this video contains a link to do so. If you are on one of the podcast sites, if you hit with a follow, 5-star review, whatever your platform so allows, and everyone everywhere, if you could share this video or audio feed with a friend of yours, that would really would make us quite pleased. It does help us out quite tremendously when you guys share this podcast. So comments, had quite a few this week. Emily, we were glad that we could smile for you at least once on YouTube. There you go, Brad. Thank you for noticing that we're smiling again. Trey on YouTube, who Brad tells us is a City fan, so that's a choice in and of itself. But he has some choice words for you, Sean, saying that Kane was maybe the greatest Premier League player of all time. He hit you with a laughing face emoji. To which his response was, Henry must be an MLS player and Kevin De Bruyne must play in the Bundesliga. So apparently,
if you can't allow that Harry Kane is right there amongst those two players that were just named, then you're blind.
I think you save
Later.
you save yourself in this argument by always saying that Kane is arguably or maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
It
you're not.
can't be. It can't be
Maybe.
definitive. It can't be definitive.
Yeah, I was speaking with someone earlier this week who was beating the drum for Alan Shearer as the greatest
Yes.
Premier League goal scorer of all time.
Greatest- yeah.
I don't think he said greatest player. I think he was specifically talking about goal scoring. So there is definitely debates as to who is the greatest player in the Premier League era. So
If you have a name that you want to put up, leave it in the comments below. And
Oh,
we'll
interesting.
see next week.
Interesting. And then Jimmy, hey, I'm glad we can all agree now. It's that Chelsea sucks. That's his first comment, and then he wanted to thank you actually, Brad. He was typing out that he also thought that Ten Hag was Sean's Jamie Vardy. So that's a little bit of a joke for anyone who has been listening for a long time about my feelings towards Jamie Vardy's and Sean's feeling towards Ten Hag. But if you wanted to catch that, you can check last week's episode, and all of the jokes are there. But shall we dig into the meat of this conversation, boys?
Yeah.
We should, but before we get too far, I know you were really curious about what Tottenham was doing.
I was.
We have elected to stay home.
Oh,
Give the lads a couple of days off before we get ready for the FA Cup game.
okay. Do you guys have a replay?
Nope.
Okay, because you don't play.
We won our game.
Oh, that's right.
We play FA Cup. We could play FA Cup the Friday the 27th.
Yeah, so he's got like a week.
Yeah.
Week and a half.
Yeah.
10
Chelsea
days.
plays Tuesday in the Carabao Cup and then Friday in the FA Cup.
We'll probably be back to training tomorrow or Friday, or tomorrow or Thursday.
Well, but
today or tomorrow.
So Chelsea don't play on the 16th, which was
Chelsea
in the
also
past.
did not go abroad.
Chelsea
stayed home.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well. All right. Well, sucks to suck. So a couple kind of a big news story that came out of the Premier League this week. Obviously, if you guys are aware of what's been going on in the Premier League about profitability and sustainability rules, Everton earlier this year were docked 10 points by the Premier League for breaching those rules. Now Everton have, I believe, lodged an appeal against that point deduction. So that's to be adjudicated at a further future date, excuse me. But the Premier League announced this week that Everton and Nottingham Forest have been charged with breaching the profitability and sustainability rules. So that's a second breach for Everton and a first one for Nottingham Forest.
Financial fair play hit two teams.
Correct.
And they didn't start with C.
Well, correct. Yeah, one of the teams would have started with a C, and the second one initials would have been M and C. But yeah, you're correct.
Right. For what their nickname is, what they call them.
Yeah.
Wow. And Everton get hit with the ban hammer twice.
But this wasn't financial fair play. It was profitability and sustainability.
Which is different. Commonly known as financial fair play.
Financial fair play is like the UEFA phrase for it. But this is essentially the Premier League's financial fair play. Obviously, the rules are slightly different, but I'm fairly certain that UEFA's financial fair play is all but dead in terms of their ability to enforce it, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, when City laughed in their face, yeah.
Yeah. So this is Everton. This is kind of a more interesting situation with Everton because it's their second charge for essentially the same thing. That's their argument, at least, is that they're upset that this almost feels like it's double jeopardy.
Yeah, well, because they were charged for one of the 3 years, in particular for being over that 105 million threshold, and then they weren't able to stay under that threshold with the other 2 years added in.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. You can lose up to 105 million pounds
over a rolling 3-year period.
Correct. And in 21-22, they lost over 132 million pounds. And also, the Premier League is now counting their interest charges on them building the new stadium. So that happened. And are any of us shocked that Forest is on this list?
Certainly not. The way that they've spent money to acquire players over the last 2 years has been
like they bought all 30 new players.
I'm fairly
People need them.
certain. I'm fairly certain I read somewhere that they spent 230 million pounds on registering 43 players or something like that over the course of the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
There was a dude that got signed from Bayern who had a broken leg and still got signed, still passed his medical in Greece, and still hasn't played a minute in 18 months for them. But they signed him and then probably forgot about him.
Yeah, it's so the Premier League hasn't announced any kind of punitive damage for these teams yet. But
It's sent to an independent council, and then we'll have their review probably next. I wouldn't be shocked if it's this month, but it'll probably be next month.
yeah, but also like I would imagine that there's a bit of a precedent that has been set by the Everton case. So I would not be shocked if both of these teams are hit with 10-point deduction, which could prove to be fatal for both of them. If somehow Everton were able to overcome 20 points being deducted, that would be incredible. Now, Forest, so just looking at the table right now, Forest would go from 20 points to 10 points. Everton would go from 17 points to 7 points. That would put them, Everton would be 20th.
18th and 20th.
18th and 20th, correct. So Sheffield would move up to 19th, and then Forest would move to 18th.
Keeping Luton Town in the Premier League, and I'm here for that.
But the thing is, Luton Town would be 16 points, so 6 points between Luton Town and Forest, which seems manageable over the course of 18 games or so. But 7 points to 16, 9 points. It's it is what it is. Like it's just a wider gap. Now Everton obviously seem like they're playing better than Forest have, I think, over the course of the last 10 games or so. But so everyone will have to keep an eye out for that. Okay, so football played on the pitch. Chelsea Fulham, Brad, the West London derby.
Yes.
Chelsea win 1-0. Obviously, you've got to be excited about this, yeah?
I am. It's a cold world. Mr. Cole Palmer adding to his goal total, only surpassed by Jude Bellingham on the U23s, in the top 5 leagues. Very very excited. It's a good win. A, it's a derby. It's our closest neighbor. B, for a young team to hold out for 12 minutes while Anthony Taylor calls every little minor foul he can in the final third for Fulham, and still come away with a victory, was impressive. I hated watching it, but it was impressive that we held out, and I think that that's something to build on. Chilwell came back. Chucky came back. So we're almost healthy. We're getting there.
Okay. Are we allowed to say that your defense is young if the average age of your center backs is what, like 30 years old?
Well, if you did the whole back line, it
Yeah,
drops to like 25.
I'm doing
And that's
the
because we have the oldest player in the Premier League playing one of those center back positions.
yeah, well, I think that he has an abundance of experience and should be able to hold the team together. Just saying.
Which he did. But that's still an experience that you want a young team to have.
Certainly. Yeah.
So like either okay, they're a young team. I won't just say a young defense, say a young team.
You didn't say young defense. You said a young team. I was the one that put the young defense
Up there
qualifier on it just so I could make that joke.
Where does Palmer land in the goals scored by U23 if you remove his 5 penalties this year?
What do you mean? Well, those still count.
They didn't count when Harry Kane was kicking them. Why do they count now?
They still counted when Harry Kane kicked them.
Yeah, but we as a
merchant.
Yep. Yeah, we did say that about Harry Kane. That's true.
That's also because he also drew most of the penalties. He didn't have Sterling there to draw all the penalties for him.
No, he didn't.
Does that make it better? Like, if you draw your own penalty and you finish your own work, then like at least you're like, that's all you. If somebody else gets fouled and you just step, like, you're uninvolved in the play entirely, you're just out like picking daisies, someone gets fouled, and then you get to just rock up and kick a ball one time and you score a goal. Like that makes it even worse. It seems
the pass into Sterling for that penalty.
That was Harry Kane. Harry Kane was the only penalty taker on the team, so he took all of them, just like Cole Palmer's doing. He's not drawing any of these penalties; he's just kicking it.
Just
He
what
hasn't
we said.
earned
That's
any
what
of
I
them.
said.
Yeah, he hasn't earned anything.
Okay,
All right,
sure.
so I was trying to stir the pot a little bit in our text message thread about Cole Palmer, and when I was talking about penalty, but I do think that Sean, you would take Cole Palmer at Tottenham, right?
No.
Seriously?
If we're healthy, no, absolutely not. No,
I
we've
mean,
got Madison.
I would
I'm happy with that.
absolutely take him at Arsenal. I'm not saying that he would start over Odegaard or start over Saka, but I would absolutely want him in my squad.
If you mean to say, would I take him off of Chelsea just so they don't have him? Yes, I would have him right
Well,
over.
think about Tottenham right now. Madison's been injured for the last 3 months. It seems like 2 months, whatever it's been. He's been injured for forever. Could you imagine just slotting Cole Palmer in that situation and it just being like you wouldn't have missed a beat?
Yeah, it'd have been nice. Still doesn't start.
Okay, so still don't want him. Sean only
Wow.
wants starters. He wants 11 players at Tottenham.
That's right.
That's it. Only 11 players. So okay, so
No
you would
rotation.
you
Everybody
said 3 wins on the bounce, Brad? Something like that?
3 wins on the bounce in the league and 4 at home.
So
It's our first win streak since like 2022.
you got like
Wow.
what do you got?
Technically, a win streak is 2, by the way.
All right. So that's
In the league.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
31 points through 21 games, Brad. You got 17 games left.
Yes.
What are you hoping Chelsea are able to accomplish? How many points would you like to see Chelsea on at the end of 38 games at this point?
Enough to have European football.
Oh, come on. That's a non-answer. I need you to answer the question. Give me a point number. I need a number.
19 games left. Hold on.
You have 17 games.
51 possible. 82 is the max.
Okay. 65, 70? Is that better range?
65, 70. So 70 points would be 39 more points out of 17 games?
That's 13 wins out of 17.
All right. How many points? I need to pull out my calculator because I don't want to do streamer math. That would be a mistake.
I mean, we're 9 points from 5th right now.
You would want to just over 2.3 points a game. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. All right. So you said 70 points, bro. 70 points.
65 to 70. But yes.
Okay, 65 to 70. All right. Well, we'll see.
I gave a range.
Other couple other big games.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I got one other thing. Since we're here, we are now 3 goals away from matching our total of all of last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's.
We scored 38 goals last year in the league.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or bad. Like, I'm not sure how to interpret that.
It's showing improvement. We are already almost at and surpassing what we did last year in 21 games, 22, 23 games. We should be matching or surpassing it.
Okay. I don't think we'll spend too much time here, but in the at St. James's Park, we had Manchester City take all 3 points against Newcastle. Got a 95th minute winner from Oscar Bob. Raise your hand if you've heard of Oscar Bob before.
Heard of his uncle Sideshow.
Yeah. I think he has like a cousin or something. He owns a restaurant. Bob Evans. No.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, that Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Shop was certainly better. Okay. No. Okay. The big story here is Kevin De Bruyne is back. Goal and an assist in like 30 minutes of game time. Should everyone just write off the league at this point?
Probably.
Yes. Yeah. De Bruyne is back.
Oh my gosh. That goal was amazing. B, that pass to Bob. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like within 15 minutes, he just flips the switch for City. It's crazy.
What's even more scary is there was a quote from De Bruyne saying he was actually happy that he got injured because he was able to get rested and that he hadn't stopped playing football for about 5 years straight, and it was really nice to finally rest. That's the scary part. We're getting a fresh Kevin De Bruyne. Not just a healthy one.
This is something that I think maybe you guys haven't said or thought about, but like that is since the COVID break, football has essentially been nonstop since the
Yep.
since the COVID break. Players have gotten a couple weeks off here and there, but if they're on international duty, it's been significantly less. It really
It's not.
is outrageous. It's why we're seeing so many more injuries now in the league and in the
Yeah.
game.
And it's not going to stop.
Really, it really needs to.
Like what? Yeah. What we got? Euros and Olympics this summer.
Well, the Olympics are a joke. They don't count.
I'm with you, but you have the Euros, uh, CONCACAF, all of those this summer.
That's normal.
Um,
That's normal fare.
Next year you have the new Champions League, where it's like 20 games instead of
No,
like
it's
6,
it's 8. Everyone's well,
10.
no, it's 10.
No, you play 10. It's 10 games,
Yeah,
and
everyone's
then it
guaranteed
goes
10
into the
games. Yeah,
tournament.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
then it goes into a tournament. Um, and then for those that have won things, the Club World Cup is coming 2025. Then
Yeah,
World Cup 2026, like
it needs to slow down.
it 100% needs to slow down. And we love watching soccer. This is a soccer podcast. We wouldn't be here every week if it did slow down, but we still think it should slow down.
Sean, how do you feel about this 2-2 draw at Old Trafford?
Um, in the moment with both teams' current forms, it's disappointing. But in August, if you would have said, "Hey, Sean, you taking a draw at Manchester United," I would have said, yeah, I'll take a draw at Manchester United." Um, but yeah, in the moment now, it's a little disappointing. Their first goal was a bit luck, a bit skill, and a bit more luck. I don't think he struck it well, but it went in the top corner anyway. It was well nicked off of Rashford straight to Hoyland, who just moved it to his left foot and banged it top corner. Nothing Vicario could do. And then the Rashford goal had a bit of luck. Could have been defended a little bit better. Poor gets turned around, but both goals, you kind of, I kind of just, kind of slap my hands on my legs, like, come on, like we shouldn't be giving that stuff up. But both of our goals, I felt were well worked, and
Well,
I
one
mean,
one was a corner, so you had Richarlison on the corner, and the
yeah,
other was the Bentancur one right at the beginning of the second
yeah,
half.
near
Um,
post.
yeah, the Bentancur goal was nice. It was, but that's been United's MO all season is that they don't pick up midfield runners. I think I don't know this specifically, but I'm sure you could do a case study and see the number of goals that United have conceded this season to midfield runners not being picked up. It's it's very very high. It's something that they're exceptionally bad at, and so that's just another situation where no one picks up Bentancur. He's able to take a touch, and then he's just in through. Um, now,
Well,
I watched the high level highlights of this. In watching the game, how did you feel about it? Did you feel like a draw was fair? Do you feel like Spurs should have won?
Um, I, I do feel that we should have won. We had more chances. We had more shots on goal. We had more corners. We were really taking it to them. And I also feel if Solomon wasn't injured and Kulusevski wasn't sick, came down with some kind of illness, I think on Friday. So it was known before the game that he wasn't going to go. Um, if we had either one of those, maybe the scoreline's different. It's hard to say, but um, Werner picked up right where he left off, baby.
yes, he
Row, row,
did.
row 27, seat E, baby. Uh,
But to be fair, in Werner's defense, he did have an assist in this match.
yes, he did have
Did.
an assist, um, which is more than a handful of players in the league. So,
Anthony,
yeah, Anthony is who I was going for.
Yes,
Who
already.
who did make a cameo in the game, which was nice. So
did
he
he
could,
Um,
did you
maybe
did
he
you
was
a spin?
he did not.
Oh,
Um, maybe he
Udogi
was
shut that
inspired.
down.
Yeah, maybe he was inspired. Um,
Hey, you had your main
Udogi,
defense back
we did. It was
for
nice to
for
see.
almost all 90 minutes. I don't know. Did Van de Ven come off with an injury, or did they just sub him at 89th minute?
He had cramps really bad,
Okay.
um, really bad
checks out. That
cramps,
makes sense.
and yeah, he hadn't run that
Yeah.
hard in about 10 weeks or so. Um, So yeah, he started struggling with them. He tried to play on, and then he got hit with another round of it, and they decided to take him off. But at that point, Dragishin was already on. They subbed Dragishin for Skip, which I didn't understand. It was more of a 5-man back. They had the three of them playing across the back, with the wing backs outside. I wasn't. I was a little puzzled with that, and they had a chance. Hoyland had a header go just over the bar uh, towards the latter half of the 80s minutes. Um,
McTominay
that
had
was
one as
Dragon.
well.
That's who I'm thinking of. It was McTominay
Okay,
right
that was
right over the bar.
at the
That
death.
was
It was like
Dragishin's.
yeah.
That was Dragison's guy,
Mm.
and he just I don't know if he expected Romero. I don't know how he could expect Romero to pick it up because Romero's back to was to McTominay. Um, but yeah, kind of lost him in the mix there, and he gets a free header, which could have been the old Fergie dagger.
Yeah, I mean, he
goes to Fergie.
McTominay should have scored that.
Absolutely.
Should have scored it. Okay. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with the upcoming matches. So Saturday you got Arsenal Palace, Brentford Forest. Sunday Sheffield West Ham United, and then Bournemouth Liverpool. And Monday we got Brighton and Wolves. I guess Arsenal desperately need to win this game.
Y'all need to bag like 4 goals too. Like
desperately, yeah. Like if it's a nervy 1-0 victory, while that's a win is the most important thing, Arsenal need to just destroy Crystal Palace in this match. We need a big confidence boost, especially with the way that December ended and January started for us. We need to win, and we need to win big. The other, I think, kind of interesting storyline this weekend, at least, is that Ivan Toney will be back. What, Brad?
You said January ended and December started.
No, I said December ended and January started.
I don't think
Sean,
you did, but either way.
Did you hear the way I said it or the way Brad said it?
The way James said it.
Yeah, I thought so.
Maybe
I thought I said it right.
That's okay.
Okay. You just had that look on your face.
I did, because I was like, why did you say it that way? That was backwards.
Well,
backwards.
Let us know in the comments if I did say it backwards, and I am.
James, explain to me why you're going to get Ivan Toney.
Okay, hold on. But yeah, this is what I was going to bring up, is that Ivan Toney is back. He's going to be available for Brentford this weekend against Forest. You're asking me why Arsenal are going to go get him. The answer is that we are not, because we are broke and we're not going to be able to buy anyone this January.
What do you mean you're broke?
It means
your stadium's almost paid for.
Okay, Arsenal as a club. Yeah, okay, Arsenal are not, as a club, are not broke. What I'm saying is we don't have flexibility in the financial fair play aspect to in the profitability and sustainability aspect to go and buy a player. We can't go spend 60 million or 100 million on another player. We are tucked nicely to be in compliance with the 105 million pound running loss over a 3-year period. But if we are to expend extravagantly this January, then we would be exceeding that, is what I'm understanding. All of the reputable Arsenal reporters, Ornstein specifically, have said that it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to do any significant move in the January transfer window unless somebody is sold at a reasonably high value. And that means someone like an Eddie Nketiah or an Emile Smith-Rowe, who are academy products, who would be, like that whole pure profit thing that Brad keeps talking about. Like, we're going to sell Cedric Soares to Besiktas or something like that, but for like 2 million or something. What's up, Brad?
Speaking of this Brentford Forest game, the Forest penalty for financial fair play actually came because Brendan Johnson did not go to Brentford in June. He was sold in September to Tottenham, and that's what Forest is claiming caused them to be outside of the financial fair play rules.
That's right. So so it's just like it was like an accounting period.
Yes. Yeah, they missed it. They missed the term by a couple of months, 10 weeks, maybe, to be able to count it. Yeah,
that's the way accounting works. You have to close the books at some point.
100%. But yeah, and it's interesting now. It's a Brentford Forest game right after that penalty came out.
Oh,
I don't know. It's a little spicy there.
is Forrest going to take out their frustrations on Brentford?
They're playing better.
Okay, Sean, to your question about why Arsenal would want Ivan Toney, is that more what you're interested in me answering?
Well, well, you guys were rumored to get him all summer long.
Yeah, well, he came into that interview back in September and essentially intimated that he wanted to join Arsenal. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Ivan Toney is a good Premier League goal scorer. Like, he's been good in the Premier League. I think he would thrive at a team like Arsenal. His service would be better than it was at Brentford. Plays a similar expansive style as Thomas Frank wants to play at Brentford. So, like, he obviously is able to play more expansive football. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to work in the much tighter situations that Arsenal teams have to work through as compared to Brentford teams, because of what the defenses play against Arsenal as compared against Brentford, that would, you'd have to prove yourself. But I mean, he's a goal scorer, and we are desperately struggling to find a goal scorer. So, I mean, it seems like it would make sense if the money makes sense. Ivan Toney to me is not a 85 million, 100 million pound player. Maybe he is. I don't know. But if we're paying that much for him, I would be skeptical.
English tax, my guy.
I get it, man. I understand that.
But no, yeah, and well, it's English tax plus the striker tax.
Yeah, it's immense.
Like the market says what the market says, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but
I'm only saying that I agree with your valuation. He's probably like at 60. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's much better. I mean, okay, maybe I should compare this to other comparable 60 million pound transfers for strikers.
Take him over Richarlison.
Any day of the week. I think everyone is taking him.
Yes, I think even Sean is taking him
over Richarlison.
Richarlison has more league goals than Ivan Toney right now, so 7 more.
Oh, baby, that's true. That is fair point. I forgot.
7 more goals.
Yes.
How dare! Now here's gonna be the interesting thing: who ends the season with more goals?
It'll be Richarlison.
Probably.
I don't know, bro.
Should be some good games. Obviously, Liverpool will continue their onslaught on the Premier League title. They are going to beat Bournemouth by about 100 goals, even sans Mo Salah. Darwin Nunez is probably going to score a hat trick against Bournemouth. You heard it here. Bookmark.
Got his shooting buddy. Wait, he's got his shooting buddy back, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Brenner hit the 27th row. Let's see how far Nunez goes.
Nah, Darwin Hattie this weekend. You heard it here. All right, I think that's all we got for you guys. Definitely drop a comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought.
Oh wait, we didn't dunk on West Ham.
What happened with West Ham?
Sean, what team did West Ham lose to this week?
Bristol City.
Bristol City.
What league are they in? Because I know that you love that stuff.
They're League One.
Wow, League One. They are. That is some FA Cup magic.
It might be Championship. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's Championship, but I didn't want to be wrong, so that's why I threw it to you.
They are in the Championship, exactly like I said.
Where are they in the Championship?
It's too many Bristols.
How many? Where are they at? Where are they at?
14th.
Oh, but I mean that probably puts them like 6 points off the promotion playoffs.
Oh, it's really tight. I'm glad you asked. Let's see.
How tight, Sean?
36. They are 6 points out of the tournament.
You were spot on.
That's literally what I just said. All right, we're ending there. That's a great place to end the podcast. Hit us up on Twitter. That guy over there is at KSBradG. Down below, it's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, you can reach us at redcard_radio. We look forward to hearing from you all and come back next week for another one. So we really appreciate you guys listening and have a good one.